quiet, reflective man speaking slowly and clearly. You understand complex things, systems, ideas, patterns others can't see. But somehow, a simple conversation with a stranger can feel like the hardest thing in the world, and you've never quite understood why. The answers you've been given never felt right, because they were never designed for a mind like yours. You've probably felt it before. You're in a group, people are laughing, the conversation is easy for everyone else. But inside your head, you're running a different program. You're analyzing what was just said, cross-referencing it with 3 other ideas, wondering if your response will be understood, calculating the odds that it won't. And by the time you've finished thinking, the moment has passed. Psychologists call this a mismatch between cognitive processing and social timing. But it goes deeper than that. Some minds process everything more intensely, more thoroughly, more emotionally than a typical social exchange allows for. You're not slow, you're not broken, you're operating with deeper processing. Social difficulty in highly intelligent people is not a deficit of character, it is a byproduct of depth. The same brain that sees nuance in an argument is the same brain that sees nuance in a facial expression and then questions what it means. The same mind that questions systems is the same mind that questions its own place in a room. Some people naturally take in more sensory information, more tone, more detail, more meaning, more data. Same amount of time to respond. That is not weakness, that is the cost of awareness. Let's go inside the mind for a moment. When most people engage socially, their self-awareness quiets down, it steps aside, it lets conversation flow. But for you, that awareness stays active. The internal voice doesn't pause, it observes, it evaluates, it stays alert. Imagine trying to speak while hearing your own thoughts at the same time. It is exhausting, not because you're incapable, but because you're aware. You notice every pause, every shift in tone, every subtle change in energy. You see what others miss, and carrying that level of awareness is heavy. For a long time, you may have believed the answer was to perform, to speak faster, to think less, to be more like everyone else. But the real shift begins somewhere else. Stop performing, start existing. Your mind doesn't need to be fixed, it needs to feel safe enough to be present. Even a few seconds of grounding yourself in the moment can quiet the noise and let your natural voice emerge. You were never designed for shallow environments. You were designed for depth, for meaning, for substance. This is why small talk feels draining, not because you're arrogant, but because your mind is searching for something real, something honest, something that matters. And when you find it, conversation stops feeling like effort. It starts feeling like connection. You were also taught to fear your silence, to believe that pauses make you awkward. But your silence was never emptiness. It was processing. It was care. It was your mind choosing depth over noise. And the right people will never rush you. They will wait, not because they have to, but because they understand your value. You may not have many people who truly know you, but depth was never measured in numbers. It was measured in understanding. You were never meant to belong everywhere. You were meant to belong somewhere real. Here is the truth you were never told. Your mind is like a deep-sea sonar. It was built for depth. It sends signals far below the surface and waits. Most of the world operates on the surface, fast, loud, immediate. When you try to live deeply in a shallow environment, It will feel like something is wrong with you, but nothing is wrong with you. You were simply built for depth in a world optimized for speed. And somewhere out there, there are others like you, quiet, aware, thoughtful, waiting for a conversation that finally feels like home. You have spent a long time wondering if something is wrong with you. There isn't. You were given a mind that sees more, feels more, processes more. Your quietness is not weakness. Your pauses are not awkward. Your depth is not distance. It is your strength. It is your nature. It is who you are. And one day, you will meet someone who doesn't make you feel different for it. They will make you feel understood. And in that moment, you will realize you were never alone. If this video made you feel understood, subscribe, because this channel was made for minds like yours.